welcome to Bearsbanter. My name is Bernard Muhammad. Tonight on the broadcast is Keith Floydnoy, Jay Beasley, Christian Jones, and Guy Moore. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, and you?
I'm doing good. Hey, tonight we're
Good.
gonna have a special edition of Bearsbanter Football 101, and also we're gonna, if time permit, we're gonna talk a little college football. We had some exciting games this week. Christian is actually going to talk about fundamentals of throwing football. So, hey, any of y'all have anything y'all want to say before we get started up with Christian?
No,
Also, prayers up to our guy, Bruce Hollywood Wilson. Ailing a little bit. Just praying that he gets up and about now. God bless, brother. Love you.
Hollywood.
Yeah, man, praying for you.
Praying for Hollywood.
praying for you, man.
Yeah, I got a chance to go visit him yesterday. Nobody likes being in a hospital. And, I was glad I was able to scratch out some time to go see him, to try to lift his spirits up. So he's going to be in there a few more days. But those who all know Bruce, if you get a chance, go see him at Mount Sinai Hospital on the west side. All right. Hey, Christian, where you want to start out? Do you want to start out with the video, or you want to start out with a narrative about how you put this video together, or your background, or how you want to start out?
So I'll start off with a little narrative. You have a child, that wants to play quarterback. The very first thing that you want to get them to do is just start off with their motion first, and then do the 3-step, 5-step, and things like that. So in this video, I just emphasize on the 4 things that you need to do as far as getting started, as far as the fundamentals of throwing the football. So you can play the clip, and then we can go more in depth afterwards.
Okay. So you mean to say that there's actually some fundamentals to throwing the ball? I mean, when I grew up, we just got the ball and grabbed the laces and threw it.
It's fundamentals. It's fundamentals, and we can really dig into dialogue with it because as a coach, I don't change per se a kid's throwing motion if they've thrown the ball for a long time. So if they've been throwing the ball for about since they was 4, when they get to me, I wouldn't change it. But if you've never played before, then I'll kind of sort of may teach you the way that I've done it. And then when you get older, you might tweak it a little bit. That's how I do it. Most coaches, they'll see if your arm slot is low. They'll try to make you throw how they throw, but you effective at it. So now that messes up your development as a quarterback. That's just my opinion on it. So, but we can dialogue into that too, because there's more stuff that I didn't say in the video that I want to get into.
Okay, let's let the video roll. Okay, that's not the screen we want. Okay, here we go.
The shelf. What is it? It's where you
go back. There we go.
There are 4 fundamentals that you need to be able to throw a football effectively: grip, shelf, weight transformation, rotate. Let's talk about the grip first. You get your ring finger, place it on the second lace, just like that. Your small hands, bringing up. Left-handers, self-explanatory. Same thing. All right, this next clip.
Okay, now let's go back at what you just explained. You were explaining how to grip a ball.
Yeah.
You look like you got a ball right there. What's the importance of the grip?
The importance of the grip is you want a spiral. And Jay is a former wide receiver. It's a catchable ball. So throwing a spiral is a catchable ball. It has your pass catcher not have to focus so much on a duck, where they can just catch it in flight and go. And it also, a spiral makes the ball travel faster and further. So it's very important that you throw a spiral because it's going to affect the game. So that's what it is. But, I got big hands. So if you got small hands, like I said, you probably want to bring it up. But I got big hands. So, like, my thumb is, like, right there. And most people thumbs be, like, up here. But God bless me. So I got big hands. So I can get the lace in the tip of the ball. But if you got small hands, just bring it up. And then you good. you'll be able to control it.
Okay. Hey,
Christian,
Plank.
does that also help with ball security?
Yes.
How you hold the ball?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you could explain that a little bit, that'd be great.
Yeah, so like I said, if you got smaller hands, bring the ball up right here so you can control it. Because when it gets cold outside, the ball becomes very, very slippery. And like I said, I have big hands. I got mitts, so I can get to the tip right here, and I'm good. I can control it. I can get back into motion. But if you got smaller hands, the ball, when it gets cold, it's hard to grip. Your fingertips start getting real, like, hard, and you can't really feel the ball. So you want to get as close up to the ball as you possibly can. That's just me. And for ball security, if you got smaller hands too, if somebody hits you, you're able to grip it. So if you get hit from behind, you got enough strength to grip it. Like I said, I was blessed, so I got big hands. So if somebody hit me, it's not coming out. It's not coming out at all. It's just yeah.
So to that point, does hand size and all these other things that they measure for quarterbacks really play that big of a deal?
As far as ball security, yes.
Okay.
But to throw a spiral, no. As far as ball security, yes. I mean, if you just, pump faking, I don't have to, a lot of people talk about the pat. A lot of people pat the ball because when you patting it, now you're getting your finger placement back to gripping it the way that you had it when you got the snap. Me, I never pat because, again, God blessed me with big hands, so I can pump fake, and then I can just go right into the motion. That's what Aaron Rodgers do. He's got mitts, so when he pump fake, he doesn't have to pat unless he wanted to get an extra grip or he felt like he might have lost his grip a little bit. But other than that, he's going straight into it because he's got mitts too. So, yeah, like you said, it's for smaller hands. But outside of that, hand size really doesn't mean anything.
So I do have 3 questions. They're real quick questions. One is, did that affect Rex Grossman play? That it was saying that Rex Grossman had small hands, and also the second question was, how did it affect Russell Wilson? Because they said his hands was actually big, like a guy that was much taller than him, that he had big hands. And my third question is, what do the air pressure has to do with football?
I'll start with the last one. I'll start with the last one first. So I'm still young, but my hand grip is not as strong as it was when I was 19, 15, 14. I actually, back in that time, I used to like my balls have air in them. I don't know why, but I just preferred that. Now that I'm 33, I like it a little air out of it. So when I be going over with my quarterbacks and stuff, I be like, gosh, why y'all balls are so like almost, I got like air in them. Like I be taking the air pin and, for me, I got a ball that I took an air pin and took some air out of it because it's so hard. Like I don't like that. So as you get older, to control your hand strength does decrease for some odd reason. I don't know why. I don't know the science or the medical term for that, but my hand strength isn't as strong as it used to be. So yes, taking the air out of a ball definitely helped Tom Brady. He definitely did that for a reason.
The Flake-gate.
Yes, he definitely did that for a reason.
And it's more preference for a grip, right? It's just more preference
because like I said, your hand strength, I guess, because you've thrown for this just I'm just taking a guess here. I guess by throwing so much over how many years, your hand strength, your forearm decreased, so you don't have as much power as you used to. So you used to just throwing. I've never had cramps at all, but now after like 20 throws, I be getting cramps all in my forearm, and I gotta get a roller thing and start stretching my forearm, my wrist out. So hand strength definitely decreases. So yeah, I can see why he did that.
Yeah, I remember when I was a quarterback in the Stupid Bowl, and I used to just have hands that were just great. And I was BSing. You know what? Interesting. I went to this camp as a kid, And the way I used to hold a football was like somebody with bigger hands. My hands aren't large. And the guy was like, oh, you're holding it wrong. You're not going to be able to get a spiral. And I could always throw real tight spirals. He used to ask me, what do you do for your hands? Well, I played piano as a kid, so my fingers were real strong. So about 2-3 weeks ago, I grabbed the football trying to grip it. I can't even grip it the same way I used to. So it's totally different now. It's almost like I have to, just like the way that he explained it, as far as going across here. So I can even, when I snap, I can get some rotation. Because if I even pick up a football like I used to, my forearms will cramp up. So
yes, absolutely. What was the other
the other one's really like more rhetorical.
Oh, with Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson with big hands and Rex Wilson with small hands.
So he played in Seattle. So, you know, it rains a lot up there. So he had to have big hands because a lot of quarterbacks that played in Seattle outside of Hasselbeck, they always wear gloves because it rains a lot. So they always lose control of the ball. And once you go into your backstroke, that ball, it does start to do this a little bit. And if you got big hands, you got a tight grip on it. And you're not supposed to, and that was one thing that I didn't put in the video. You're not supposed to squeeze the ball. You want to have that air right there, that light that you see right there. You want to have it. So having strong grip and getting that light that you want, because that's going to get the spiral that you want. That shows how big of hands that Russell Wilson has, because he in Seattle, now he in Denver. Snows a lot in Denver, rains a lot in Seattle. He's never had fumble issues. So yeah, hand size does make it's a benefit in that, you know, avenue.
What you did just so, Kristen, is how that grip, where you had like a little air between your hand and between your ball placement. That was Russell Wilson's thing when he was in Seattle. He always, and I always wondered why he was kind of like holding the ball, but not holding the ball as far as he was gonna make make a pass. So that explains exactly why he was holding the ball the way he was holding it.
Yeah, you want to have that air because that's what's gonna get the spiral. That light right there is gonna get the spiral.
Right there, that little air right there in your hand.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson. If people watch Russell Wilson, he always had that. He always had that little pocket. That little pocket.
All of them. If you go back and you, go on YouTube and you watch Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, most of them have it. Now, how they grip the ball may be a little different. Kurt Warner had huge hands. He would hold the ball with the tip just like that. Just like that. And he would throw it like, you're throwing a dart. And
Terry Bradshaw.
He pronated his wrist. He had huge hands. Squeezing the ball is why you see a lot of ducks, because a lot of people squeezing it. And now you can't see no air. So when you go all that strain, you can see all that strain right now is on my forearm. So as I go, the last thing that you want is to palm the ball. You want rotation. You want to pronate your wrist like you're throwing a screwball going straight into your pocket. So if you squeezing it, you're going to throw a duck every time. So this is what you want. That's what you want.
Okay. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who's watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV tonight. We have a special segment of Banter Football 101. So if you have a son or daughter, right? Because girls are playing football too.
Yeah, girls are playing.
If they're playing youth football as far as Pop Warner, high school, or even college, we got a little tutorial going for you. Hey, let's roll a little bit more of the video. Okay.
We can talk about the shelf and why that's important. The shelf, what is it? It's where you have the ball placed right before you get ready to throw. My suggestion to you is not to have it too high nor too low. It's also based off of body type, and it's based off of comfort. I shove the ball right here, just behind the ear. When I get ready to step and throw, it's real quick. weight transformation. This one also is very important. And also, before I get into it, I want to kill this theory that to get a quick release, or when a quarterback has gotten a quick release, that he changes arm angle. That's completely false. No. To get a quick release, he's probably changed how his stride was and how he was transferring weight from his back leg to his front leg. Let's talk about it. If you're right-handed, this is an Aaron Rodgers thing that I'm teaching. He's one of my favorites. I don't care. Judge me if you want to. All right? You want to bend, have a slight bend on your right leg, right-handed. And as you're getting up, you want to twist. Just push. Just like that. You see Dak Prescott do these drills right before he got it from Aaron Rodgers. All right? Have the ball, and the shift. Push it. Push it. Push it. That's weight transformation. All right?
Okay.
Good
Oh,
stuff.
man.
Good
That's
stuff.
a whole
Good
lot.
stuff.
Well,
Good
y'all have
stuff.
anything for that? I mean, that weight transformation.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
A question I want to ask off that was, you know, and I may use as examples from Chicago quarterbacks. We used to hear a lot that Jay Cutler was throwing off his back foot.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a weight transformation issue?
Yes. So you wanna transfer power from your back leg, if you're right-handed, so that'll be your right leg, to your left leg. And you want to step is the short, you want to have a short step, a really, really short step. And that's what's gonna get your release real quick. It's opposite of being a pitcher. So those that play baseball, you can tell because their stride is so long, and that was Justin Fields' problem. That's one of the things that he shored up. He had a long stride, so the ball was coming out. It was coming out hard and fast, but it was taking a long time for him to get into it. He was already in his motion, and you can see his arm. I'm sorry, you can see his arm. Wrong way. His arm like this in the L shape, but he still ain't took his step yet. And by the time he took a step, now he's fighting himself to get rid of the ball. So Jay Cutler was that same way too. And Jay Cutler was more of a shoulder thrower. So like Dan Marino, you see Dan Marino get the ball. It's like, wow, real quick. But Dan Marino had a short step though. Jay Cutler didn't. Jay Cutler had a long, long step. So it would come out hard, very efficient, but it just took so long to get rid of it. Aaron Rodgers, if y'all watch him, he has like this pop-up thing, and it's so quick. That's why it looks like he's just flicking his wrist. He taking that right foot, and he popping up on that left foot, and by the time he pops up, the ball is already out of his hands.
Okay. Hey, what you have, guy?
You know what's interesting is a lot of times a quarterback I used to watch all the time until I understood football, I used to think like, man, he had a long stride and he used to just throw way back with Randall Cunningham. But as I got older, I realized his release was really short. It's just his arms were so long. He almost had like that gun, looked like a gunslinger thing. A lot of people like the way it looks. It almost looks like if you did it in slow motion, you would think you're seeing him going all the way back here and throwing the ball. It's real tight. Like, and even Terry Bradshaw, the same thing. But his was like one of the tightest releases I've ever seen. It's almost like he does like this. It's like you say, it's like he flicks his wrist. And I used to always wonder how those guys generate power, but I could see, you know, as far as the stride and the weight transfer.
Yeah, it's your legs. You know, as a quarterback, you don't throw with your arm, you throw with your legs. So that's why you see now quarterbacks in the weight room and they benching and squatting like close to 500 pounds, and then you see them get out there and they throwing the ball out the stadium like Michael Vick and Pat Mahomes, is because they literally can squat 500 pounds. So that's coming from all legs. So that force that you gravitating from the back leg to the front leg, you're not using arm. It's like a whipping motion. You know, like how you take a towel and you take it from back and then you whip your front and it hurt? It's because it's the whipping motion. It's coming back and you don't even know that you're doing it. You're taking your weight on your back foot and then you transfer it into your left foot. It's like hitting a baseball too. You know, when they hit, before they get ready to hit, it's this motion. So you see quarterbacks, it's that motion. It's that motion, and then it's a whipping motion. It's that motion, then it's a whipping motion.
Okay.
Yeah, so
What you have, Plank?
What it sounds like you're talking about, and I'm not trying to get all limb bloom or STEM in here, but we're talking about basically physics.
Yeah.
The economy of motion. You know, utilizing a smaller step and a smaller pocket in order to generate that same amount of torque on your throws. And it's interesting that we actually talk about, you know, the fastest quarterbacks, Dan Marino or whatever. For years, I used to look at Dan Marino and say, I don't see that he's doing anything as different than everybody else. But when I started noticing, instead of actually cocking back and then throwing, he would be able to go directly from wherever he already had the ball forward.
Yep.
So that automatically diminished the time for him to be able to take a release. So the difference between and throw versus So that made the difference all the time. So that's really great bit of information that generally we don't think about when we're thinking about playing football and quarterback play.
Absolutely. And all of y'all have said great things that I didn't have time to go in detail with. There are actually, there's four types of throwers. So we already talked about Dan Marino. That's the shoulder thrower. The guys who get the ball, it's not the prettiest, but it's the most powerful. It's real quick. It's just whop. Phillip Rivers was a shoulder thrower, like a puncher. It looks like they punching the ball. They hold the ball real close, and then boom. And then you got the lofters, the Tom Brady. They throw the most beautiful deep ball, but it's long. It's over the top. And then Randall Cunningham, he was a slinger. Michael Vick, they get the ball way back, the tip of the ball, and then it's real quick. It's real quick, but it's the longest. And then you got the tweeners. Nowadays, everybody's throwing like this, and they got it, honestly, from Brett Favre. They hold the ball a little lower the shelf. So let me explain. Brett Favre used to hold the ball in his chest plate, but he used to have it a little down. He had a longer circle, but Aaron Rodgers took it into where now he's doing just like that. So when he gets it, he's doing just like that. And that's a tweener. So it's like they're having that motion as a slinger, and then they turn it into like a shoulder thrower, because now their elbow, they get their elbow just above their shoulder, because that's what you want just for it to be effective. But it's not so far over the top like Tom Brady and the rest of the guys that throw over the top. Peyton Manning, he was a real over-the-top guy. Drew Brees is really over the top. Mark Sanchez was an over-the-top thrower. So I'm glad y'all brought that up, because there are types of throwers: shoulder thrower, over the top, slinger, and I call them tweeners, because they get the ball back and then they get their elbow just above to get enough on top of the ball so they can get that full rotation and pronation.
Yeah.
Hey, what you have, Jay? Hey, and I see your sorrow, Jay. Say, what's up? See?
Hey, Kenny V. Hey, Kenny V. I just want to expound on the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. You know, I'm a Bears fan. As much as I hate Green Bay, but I love Aaron Rodgers and I love Brett Favre. And it was one of those things where it's, how does Aaron Rodgers do what he does? You know, it's like you said, Chris, it's like the flick of the wrist. It's so effortless. And how is he able to do that in any situation? How is he able to do that in any situation?
It's just taking he sat and watched for 4 years Brett Favre. When he came out of Cal, he had that ball up right here. And when he came, it was same motion, but his shelf was different. So the higher you have the ball, you're going to have a shorter circle, but it's going to be long. You take the ball and you put it just above your chest plate or front of your sternum, and you get it back. It's more quicker. You have it a little lower like Jay Cutler used to do. Now you got a long, elated process to get the ball over. So you talk about now he's shortening up his step he took the ball from down here, and he watched Brett Favre, who used to have the ball anywhere. He was not fundamentally sound, so he had the ball anywhere, but he saw how quick he was when he had it right here. So now you will see Aaron Rodgers shelf the ball somewhere around this area, and the fact that he has big hands is coming out real quick. It's coming out real quick, so that's why.
Yeah,
hey, let's run this video. Let's run this video right quick. Hold on, give me a minute to see if I can pull this up properly. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
There's no sound to it. This is like some the change in Justin Fields' throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it didn't have any sound.
You know, about a year ago when Justin Fields first came out, I noticed that Chris Sims was one of his loudest detractors and kept talking about Justin Fields didn't have good fundamentals and didn't know how to throw the ball and all of those things. Can arm placement and fundamentals like that really dictate how well somebody is going to perform at the professional level? In your opinion, Chris, I'm asking.
I would say at the NFL level, your footwork is more important than changing somebody's arm angle. If he's been throwing that way for so long, I disagree with Chris Sims. What will destroy a career is your foot placement. If he kept his stride that long, instead of now he's condensed it, that's what separates him from the backups and the guys who are playing in the Arena League in Canada. Having that small step is what the great ones do. You go back and nobody really paid attention to the little nuances and whatnot, but you go back and you watch Dan Marino, Joe Namath, Terry Bradshaw, all those guys, when you watch them and the things I just explained, you will see that their step was really small and compact. And then the guys who were Pro Bowlers here and there, you will see the difference, how long they stepped, how long the ball came out, how inconsistent the ball was. So that to me is more reason why quarterbacks fail in high school, college, pros. Just footwork is not good.
So that affect their accuracy as well?
Footwork, yes. If you don't have good footwork, so if you got lazy feet and you getting back, and now you got to face live bullets coming at you, and by the time you hit your third step, you already got somebody back in your lap. You step long, now your hand is hitting the top of somebody's helmet. But if you got good footwork, like Aaron Rodgers, I wish I can show a clip of him literally having his feet opposite of a wide receiver. Pat Mahomes do it too, and I'm able to make an accurate throw because they got good feet. Though he didn't step right to the target, he got back and he was on balance. And as he threw the ball, he still transferred his weight from his back leg to his front leg, and it was real quick and compact. So that's the fundamentals of just doing that consistently, but when you throw.
Okay, I'd like to thank everybody who's watching us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch TV. If you have not subscribed to Bearsbanter on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Right down at the bottom, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, join the Facebook Bearsbanter Facebook group. Also, hey, let's do a quick break.
I can't help you to see, show you how to believe in love. Find a way, find a way, if you open up to it. 'Cause love, find a way, find a way, when you give yourself to it. From the very first day I fell
Tammy, we missed you. So I'm gonna play that
first
video.
lady. The
How
first
him gonna get
lady.
kicked? How him gonna get kicked if we ain't get none?
Right.
Hey,
Right.
I noticed on
right.
Tammy's video the actual official release of that particular song, the video part, the original video of it. She's almost up to 7,000 views on that video. So great job, Tammy. Okay, hey, let's roll the next. Let's roll the next clip. Hold on, where are we at on this? Right here. It might start back over because of the way I rotated it out.
Let's talk about rotating in this next clip.
Let's go here.
Here, when I get ready to step and throw.
I think I kind of lost my place, so it may be a little redundant.
And it's based off of comfort. I shove the ball right here, just behind the ear. So when I get ready to step and throw, it's real quick. Weight transformation. This one also is a very, 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 very important one. And also, before I get into it, I want to kill this.
Okay, I think we saw that part.
It's one of my favorites. I don't care. Judge me if you want to. All right. You want to bend. Have a slight bend.
We'll go a little bit up. There we go.
Bend. Have a slight bend on your right leg, right hand. And as you're getting up, you want to twist. Just push. Just like that. You see that Prescott do his drills right before he got it from Aaron Rodgers. All right, have the ball and the shift. Push it. Push it. Push it. That's weight transformation. All right. Let's talk about rotating in this next clip. Rotating. I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna show you how to throw a football. I'm also gonna show you a drill that I do with my players, my quarterbacks, at Evanston Township High School and the Junior Wildcats drill that I do. All right, so you wanna get a ball, you don't have to do a ball, you can do this with a towel as well. You wanna get your arms really high because you want your elbows above your shoulder blades. Right-handed. You want to twist left. Right-handers, I'm sorry. Twist left.
Elbow,
Right.
shoulder.
Over the top.
Nice.
Left-handers. Same thing. Twist right. Twist left. Over the top. Those are the 4 fundamentals of how to throw a football. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Christian, so do you think, and I don't know if I'm going out of turn right here, but do you think that Justin Fields have these traits
Absolutely.
to be able to be that quarterback that we haven't seen?
Absolutely.
And we haven't seen in my lifetime. Does he have these traits to be that quarterback, to transition and be the quarterback that the Bears need him to be?
Absolutely. So that Pittsburgh game where he was just throwing dimes across, his fundamentals last year, I'm not gonna say it was bad, but he tweaked them just enough, and he focused on just transferring his weight and really rotating better. Man, I wish I can go through it again. Hopefully we can do another one of these and I can really go in depth with that. But his rotating is now, he's getting this really quick now. He's getting to this really quick now. And you see the small steps that he's taking and getting the ball, and it's looked like it's coming out super, super fast. And I was having a conversation with one of the Bearsbanter members, and he was like, "Nah, he changed his motion." I'm like, "Nah, he didn't change his motion. He's just more compact. It's real quick." And that is just enough in this league because nobody's open in this league. You got to throw guys open. I mean, when you think about it, everybody runs 4 4s, 4 3s. So just that little compact of just getting the ball out half a second and you taking that and being like, well, dang, I remember that Pittsburgh game. Yeah, he got it in him. He got it in him. And, you watch him, you go and you type in on YouTube, Justin Fields' new throwing motion, and then you'll type in Josh Allen. He made similar tweaks in his game as well. So you'll see like, oh, Josh Allen, Justin Fields. Okay, I think we cooking with something. So absolutely, we got something with Justin. We got.
Hey, you know what though? Here's something interesting that you mentioned, and I appreciate all the intel that you give. It's all transferable to a lot of sports that has to do with throwing or different motions like golf. I'm going to tell you something, which is interesting from a baseball standpoint. People who have long strides and reach back real far, unless, like you said, if it was this guy has been doing this since he was 3 or 4 years old, you don't want to change it. But for the most part, you do want to condense it because when you condense it, it does two things. Especially if you're throwing if you're throwing a curveball, it's like relative to a spiral. If it's tight, if you've got the weight transfer, number one, not only are you able to throw with that torque, you can get a tighter spiral, but you're able to control it because you don't have to go back, do all this funky stuff. And you'll find a lot of guys, like you'll see guys that can throw a football 5,000 yards and they automatically think that because they have to go all the way back here and do this. But when you make it tighter, you actually can get more power generated and more torque. And with the rotation of the ball, it's going to go far. But I love that, man. I love it. Excellent stuff, Chris.
Hey, Mark said, he see you with that Saints jersey.
This was in my wardrobe. This was in my wardrobe. Y'all, apologize, forgive me. I'm Bears Nation. Look, this is just part of my wardrobe. I got all teams besides the Packers. This was just in my wardrobe. It's matching my shoes. So
me
don't
too,
go
man.
too hard on me.
I'm on it. There you go.
Me too.
We knew we was going to come back, though. So
Me too, Chris.
Yeah, I know it. When the show started, I was like, dang, man.
I'm not mad at you, Chris. I got Arizona Cardinal. I got Carolina Panther. I got a lot. So I ain't mad at you about the New Orleans.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it.
I know your heart.
Yeah, we good.
Like I said, bump that, bro.
He giving me a hard time tonight.
What you have, Plank?
No, I'm good with that.
Since we talking about Justin Fields, I know we got another segment that we need to get to, so I'm gonna be real quick. I hope that this year that they allow him. Well, I don't hope they allow him. I hope that he takes another step this year and he calls his own protection calls. I know you said that you wanted us to talk about that, Bernard. So can I get into that just a little bit? And so everybody knows the difference of a blitz and a dog. So the West Coast offense, let me give you history of it. The West Coast offense back in the day, the quarterback never called his own protection. The center did. But as time got on, as time progressed, quarterbacks started calling on protection. And I see why, and I agree with it. Once you get down, the center, he puts his head down. So you don't know who's stepping up in which gap or who's coming down, who's stepping over. So now you might have said that 53 was the mic, and then they had a safety come down to where now that changes everything of the protection. So let's talk about a dog. A dog is just pressure. It's not a blitz. And I know that y'all be watching the announcer say that it was a linebacker. They don't consider that a blitz. That is a dog. That's just 5-man pressure. So when you hear a quarterback say, yeah, 53 is the mic, he's just telling the center and the running back that however they do that small slide, because it's not a full slide, it's just a slide with the guards in the center. So the center, left guard, right tackle, they'll have the protection to the left, and then now that running back and quarterback is responsible for that dog. They might get a double dog, a strong dog, I'm sorry. I said double dog, a strong dog with the Sam linebacker or middle linebacker. They might run a twist. The running back has to take one, and the quarterback now has to hit his hot read. So that's what calling out the mic means. Never started in the West Coast offense. It was derived with the digit offense, the Eric Cornell offense. They did it all the time, and quarterbacks start doing it because they're able to see. And
good stuff.
So that's what it is. A blitz, for everybody at home, a blitz is only secondary. If you see a corner blitz, which you rarely see in the NFL, but you'll see safety blitz, that's blitz. Only from the outside, like a nickel, corner, safety, blitz. But it's a dog. It's not a blitz with any linebacker. It's not a blitz. So if you see, that's why you see him. That's why you hear him say double A got pressure. It's pressure. It's not a blitz. It's pressure. They're part of the front. If you think about it, when you hear 8-man front, 9-man front, they're part of the front. So it can't be a blitz because they're part of the front. You blitzing, if it makes sense, you blitzing from the secondary. Now you blitzing. So I just want to help those at home out.
Hey,
Imagine how smart he would sound if he actually had a Bears jersey on.
Huh?
Imagine how smart he would sound if he had a Bears jersey on.
My bad.
Hey,
My bad, y'all. But yeah,
we're gonna have to do him like Big Red did.
That's good stuff.
Hang him over the balcony while you got on the Saints jersey.
Right.
My bad. But yeah,
what's my office hours? What's my office hours? You're exactly right. What's my office hours?
It also
that's good stuff.
Calling out the mic, it doesn't necessarily have to be Mike linebacker, especially in goal line situation where it gets a little tricky. For instance, I wish I had something to show y'all, but
hey, let's come back to it, Christian. Let's come back to it. We come back to another show because I think this is I don't want to rush this part because I think it's very valuable because when quarterbacks do say this guy is the mic, many of us may assume like, why is he saying that? Because we know who the middle linebacker is, right? We know who the middle linebacker is, but that's not so when we get to the next show,
definitely.
One-on-one part 2, you could explain. I know you just explained a little bit, but you could explain a little bit more of why did he say a little bit more is the mic, because we do know it's not the mic in that play now. It's a different person that's actually lined up in that rotation, like you said, on shifting. But anyway,
it gets tricky. It gets tricky because Mitch he struggled with it a lot, and I understand it. It get tricky, it get real confusing, especially with NFL defenses. It get confusing, especially in goal line situations. But I'll definitely be down to do that again.
Okay, and I want to do a combo of this too. I want to do a combo with you talking offense and Plank adding some defensive formations in that, and y'all kind of battle each other. And with Jay,
I'm gonna win.
With as far as receiver and quarterback communication, and also quarterback recognizing the footwork of a receiver, right? Is he lined up properly for that route, right? And that's important too. And I know you're better at explaining more. When a receiver's running a certain route, say a slant, and the quarterback should be able to look at him and say,
I got you, Kirsty.
You're not set up right to run that route, right? You're going to mess me up. But anyway, let's go to some college football real quick. I know right now we have a game going on right now. University of Georgia. No, it's not University of Georgia. It is – who is playing right now? Clemson and Georgia Tech is playing right now. I'm not sure what the score is. What's the score, Jay?
Is Dino watching today? We got to get that brother on the show.
Dino watching the game. Hey, but in the Alabama game, Alabama played Utah on Saturday, and they beat Utah 35-0. Did anybody have any comments on that particular game? I know Christian got that look like playing the cream puffs.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to see these SEC teams be like Notre Dame, play stiff competition in the preseason. Come on, play in Michigan, play Ohio State. They be like waiting until the college playoffs because they want to get there. That's the only thing I don't agree with.
Beat the brakes off. Who did Georgia play
Yeah, but that don't happen all the time. That doesn't happen all the time, though.
Oregon. But Plank, guess what? Guess what, Plank? Oregon was ranked number 11. And Georgia State, Georgia beat the brakes off them. Seven touchdowns and 7 drives.
That's my point.
That's showing your dominance.
The SEC is playing ranked teams.
That's showing your dominance. But to Christian's, to what Christian's saying, Alabama don't do that. Alabama be playing some cream puffs throughout the entire season until they can get to the SEC schedule. Notre Dame, and I tell people, I like Notre Dame because Notre Dame play everybody. Outside of their, they Army game and they Navy game that they've been playing for years and years.
Yeah, it's different.
They play Michigan State, Ohio State, USC, UCLA. They play games that actually matter.
Yeah.
And if you look at Alabama, they schedule. I like Alabama. I like Nick Saban. I like what he do. But guess what? Y'all not playing no competition, bro. Y'all not playing no competition.
Success, though, I'm telling you.
See, but you know what?
I'm not trying to diminish the success of it. I'm just saying that I will hope in the future that they will at least play in their conference twice, or they make them play some stiff competition in the playoff. I mean, preseason.
Play some Florida States. Play some Georgia. Play some people that actually is ranked.
Appalachian State, man, forget that.
See, and you know what? Here's my reasoning. My reason is the same but different. Here's my thing with Alabama. Okay, people's argument will be, so what? It doesn't matter who they play such and such at the end. They win the game. Yeah, they do. But here's the deal. If you're playing dogs all year long, now your game plan's different. You can't say, oh, well, we're going to get this game and do this. Now you got to come up, and it's like a money game every game. So by the time you get to the big boys, not only if you're good, you're going to be beat up just like everybody else. But it's kind of hard for you to be beat up if you're playing Paducah State. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing dogs every day, it's like a playoff game. And to me, when you win a national championship, it's like, I can't say nothing. You play guys, but when you're playing cream puffs, it's like, well, what would happen if you to play the dogs at the end? What if you had to play them twice? Or what if you went some of the nationally ranked guys that played,
I agree.
Which is why I say
Ohio State beat Notre Dame 21-10. What you got, Jay?
No, which is what I was saying to guys saying, play dogs every week.
Yeah.
Play dogs every week. If you as good as you think you are, play dogs every week. Which is what Notre Dame do. Notre Dame play dogs every week. They was a 17.5 point underdog. And if I was a vet man, I would have took that because I'm like, there's no way Notre Dame is gonna go to the horseshoe and lose by 17.5.
Well, I knew they was gonna lose.
You got the number one recruiting class in Ohio State and the number 2 recruiting class in Notre Dame playing each other. Come on, man. Come on, 17.
Yeah, I know those who tune in to Bearsbanter right now, they may be a little confused that we're actually talking about college football, but actually we're going to add a college football segment every few weeks, and bring in a little college football. So since the regular season hasn't started, we're talking a little college football. Earlier we was talking football 1-on-1 as far as the 4 fundamentals of throwing a football. Let's go to the next game. Well, if anybody wants to say something about the Ohio State game, you surely can. You had University of Georgia. They just smoked.
Beat the brakes.
Oregon, 49-3. And Clemson, that game is playing now.
Ducky, quack, quack.
And those were the top 5 teams. Let me run through the rankings right now. Number 1, Alabama. Ohio State was ranked number 2. University of Georgia was ranked 3. Clemson 4. Notre Dame 5. Alabama. No, that's Texas. Yeah, Texas A&M. Texas A&M ranked number 6. Utah number 7. Michigan number 8. Oklahoma University number 9, and Baylor number 10. What was the game of the weekend? What game did you really enjoy out of those top 5 or 4?
Ohio State, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
It was a fist fight. Just like I brought you guys on camera. It was like a fist fight for 4 quarters. You know, it's kind of, for me, it's like I love seeing teams like I don't look as much as like, okay, well, here's the matchup here and there. If they're dogs, okay, fine. But I'll look at teams at the beginning and look at their strength of schedule. If you're ranked like in the top 5, but your strength of schedule is real low, then it's like, okay, it's kind of subjective because you're expected to go undefeated. That Notre Dame Ohio State, it was like a national championship game. Them dudes went back and forth, and that's why we watch college football. So
yeah, I like the Georgia game. I thought it was disrespectful that they was ranked so low after winning the national championship, and they came out and dominant.
Exactly.
I don't get that. Like, SEC, they be getting money for Alabama. I swear they do. Because Alabama be ranked number 1 every year, and sometimes they have not deserved it, in my opinion. How you win national championship and you rank number 3? And most of your starters came back this year. Well, yeah, they had a lot of starters come back this year. They had a lot of they had the most drafted this year too.
15.
But they
had Georgia had 15.
Yeah,
people.
But they had a lot of starters come back too.
15 players.
They had a lot of
starters
come back too, though. So
there is no way. There is no way at the beginning of this season Georgia should have been ranked number 1. There's no way.
Ain't no
way. But that's
you watch that Oregon game, you see that Georgia's better than Alabama once again.
That's okay. They gonna prove it again. Yeah. That's okay. They should have been ranked number 1 at the beginning of the year. But that's okay. They're like, okay, y'all gonna play us like this? We'll just beat the brakes off Oregon, who beat Ohio State last year. We gonna beat the brakes off them, and let's see where y'all gonna put us. Please,
right. Yeah, so for those who might have missed that Notre Dame game against the Ohio State, even though the score was 21-10, Notre Dame was winning that game up until the 4th quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They look good.
Yeah, that was I'm trying to decide in that game, was great defensive play or was it kind of poor offense by both teams? I don't know. I'm still kind of stuck between the two. So right now I'm gonna give it credit to good defense by both teams. I think Notre Dame needs to improve their running game. The running game did not look too good, and they gave up a lot of quarterback pressure, and the receivers had a problem getting separation, in my opinion, in those games. And one of the things I did like what Ohio State did was they stuck with the running game after a while, and they just kept banging it out, even though they had to punt for a while. About 3 quarters, they stuck with it until it started opening up some space, and before you know it, the passing lane started opening up, and they rallied in that game. To me, what you have, Plank? Look like?
No, I'm good. I'm good with it. I thought it was a good game. Well fought. Yeah. Early in the year, it's always rare to see defenses really dominate that much, but defenses are a little bit ahead of the offensive, except when you're talking about spring football and everything else. So that kind of evens out things a little bit. But at that level, it was great to see a defensive struggle. I was really excited about watching that.
Yeah, I knew Plank was. I was thinking about you. I was watching that game. I said, Plank is at home, like, yeah.
Hey, people going to get hit in the mouth. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I love the physicality of Ohio State running back. I believe his last name, was it Williams? I can't remember.
Trayvon Henderson.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he was physical at point of contact.
As a freshman?
Say it again?
He bypassed Clarette's freshman record?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Ohio, they got some dogs there. They gonna play for the national championship. No, you
some
go
dogs.
look at that wide receiver class. It's like 4 of them, yo.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question.
No, it's actually Christian. It's actually 6 of them, and 2 of them can't even get on the field. It's 6 of them.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. Hypothetically, let me ask you guys a question. Just say, and I know it's some fancy stuff, but I'm just curious to see what you guys would say. Say Alabama had and Chicago State had a football team. Alabama played them and they beat them by 3-4 points. Do you think they should drop in the rankings because of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just don't like it because you beat a guy, you beat a bad like I'm not of course Chicago State doesn't have a team, but Alabama versus Chicago State and they win by 5 points. But then the next week you see them still at number 1. I would take the next look at the next few if all 2-3 teams won. Whoever they beat, if they beat like ranked teams like in the top 5 or 10, I would bump them up. But I see a lot of it where these guys are padding the schedules and they playing cream puffs and they beat them, but they don't straight up blow them out, but they still number 1. I don't get that.
Alabama cheerleaders can beat Chicago State, so let's be clear.
They've already took away the bowl games, so they need to just go ahead and get it to 10 playoff teams and call it a day.
12.
Yeah,
Well,
it should be around that area. And
they actually going to do 12.
Make sure that they play stiff competition in them non-conference games, and then let's go. I mean, it's in that direction now. I mean, kids can now go to school and make money, so it should just it should just be a money thing now. Like, hey,
that's well overdue. They should make money off their team.
I just feel like the bottom line is the best team should be ranked number 1, and Alabama is not the best team. They have these preconceived notions that preconceived notions. Alabama ranked number 1. No, they're not, because they're not better than Georgia. I'm gonna tell you, the Georgia Bulldogs ain't no punk. They ain't no punk. Y'all heard it here, and y'all gonna hear it for the rest of the season. The Georgia Bulldogs ain't no punk.
Yeah, and
no punk.
you gotta put into a factor too. The SEC, they don't play everybody in the SEC either. So a lot of times you see Alabama play Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt sucks. Yeah, they terrible. What's the other
they
school? Kentucky. While Georgia be playing Florida, all the rest of the ones on the other side of the conference. Right. Yeah, LSU. They play Mississippi State. They be playing the dogs. Alabama play the other part of the conference. So that's why I said, hey, they should at least play play these teams twice in the season. And that would, help it out. If you're not going to soften up, you're not going to make your competition harder for the non-conference games. You should at least do that. But they won't. They be paying these schools money just to play.
Right.
They play them big time money.
Right.
Who did they play? They played HBCU a couple years ago.
A couple of years ago, they paid them $1 million. $1 million to come play them to get beat down.
Yes, they do that. So it's not cool. That's not cool. I don't respect that. I will never respect that. I will never respect that.
Hey, so y'all have any more closing remarks before we close the show? I do want to let everybody know that I guess it'll be Friday. We'll be doing the prediction show to talk about the opening game of the season, Chicago Bears.
Yes,
San Francisco 49ers.
Bad down.
Man, we're gonna get it cracking, man.
We gonna get it cracking. I'll be live. I'm telling everybody, I'll be live from Soldier Field. I'll be at the game. I'll be live. I'll be live from Soldier Field after the game to let everybody know. I'm telling y'all, hold my prediction. I'm gonna hold my prediction.
For football games too. It's gonna be a good time out here. I'm letting you know.
Mm-hmm. One of the Facebook users said it's about money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All about money.
That was somebody said, "What up, Crusaders?" So it's got to be somebody from my high school, I guess. I'm assuming.
Okay.
I'm assuming. Hey,
George
Crusaders.
Washington Crusaders.
Yeah, Kennedy Crusaders, baby.
Okay.
Kennedy Crusaders. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Hey, I'd like to thank everybody. Hey, Christian, I'd like to thank you for coming in and doing the.
Appreciate you for having me.
Good
Appreciate y'all for
information.
having me.
Good information. It's something.
Thanks for the commentary, Mark.
My bad.
Thanks,
It won't
Mark.
happen again.
Oh, it's Reggie. It's Reggie.
Oh, that's Reggie. That was my left tackle. Hey, Reggie.
Okay, there you go.
That's all right. But so we'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. And please subscribe if you have not subscribed on YouTube. And also share this video with whoever that you would like to get more football one-on-one information to. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.
That was some good shit, man. You know what?
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad you